Hey everyone, welcome back at this new channel. I hope that means you liked the first video, because I did, and was very happy with all the love and support you gave me. Also had to laugh about the Dutchies, who said now they could practice their English, since it was more fun to watch something about horses than the subjects in school. It really feels like a new adventure, being happy with every small step and very exciting for the future. Feeling blessed with a new launch and having a real good feeling about it. I haven't felt it in a long while, since a lot of new plans are getting pushed to the future for a while now. And you're just waiting and doing your thing until you can finally tell everyone. It's almost like starting over again, but then with the knowledge of more than 10 years. I thought it would be great for this second video to tell you more about the horses who lives here and also about the other animals, our 2 cats and 5 chickens. Of course, the first one has to be Marley. He is turning 16 years old this year and has been with me for the longest time. I bought him when he was only 2 years old, straight from the field and having zero experience. I was 14 years old at that time and I only had some experience with lease ponies and riding school. But he was my first horse and I bought him myself and he will never leave me. As I said, he is a gelding from 14.2 hands high and he is a crossbred. We don't know what kind of breed he is, but his passport is telling us he is from Germany, so we think he is part short horse and part Lewitzer. Marley and I discovered everything together. He has taught me so much. First, everything doing the wrong way, experiencing and learning how to do better, and then treating him and riding him the right way. He is that first horse who has the biggest place in your heart and can get away with everything. I can read his mind and I will go through fire for his life. We also did almost every sport together you can imagine. Dressage, which we got to level Z1, how it is called in the Netherlands. I think it's the second last level for the amateur rider. Dressage wasn't really your thing, so I was planning to get my victory points in this level and then quit. We also jumped very much, but in the Netherlands we have this rule that if the rider has passed the age of 18, you are not allowed to compete in the pony levels anymore. So you have to ride against the big horses. That level is a bit higher and Marley could jump the height from the easiest level, but the width was too much for his little pony strides. He's of course not really built athletical, so we stranded before we could get a victory point, which made us not allowed to start cross-country in the horse classes. So we just started a lot of practice courses and learned a lot from it. We tried western riding, voltage, working equitation and track. I don't know how that one is called in English, but it's an original French sport. The abbreviation stands for Technique de randonnée équestre de compétition and literally means competitive equestrian trail riding or hacking techniques or something like that. He also knows a lot of trick training and liberty exercises, and now we are driving with him. He seems to really like it and I can finally take friends and family into the woods and can show them how different the nature is from the back of a horse. Or from a carriage behind the horse. As I told you in my first video, Marley has some health issues. He has arthritis in his SE joint and we only found out last year. That's part of the reason why dressage was quite difficult for him at that level, since he had to shift his weight to his hind legs more. He is treated for it and we did some rehabilitation. He was going quite well, but got a very painful hoof ulcer this winter, so he was out of running for almost 6 weeks again. Luckily he's very happy being his funny self, and we don't have any competition plans anymore. I would like to learn more about driving and maybe develop ourselves in track or working equitation. He is allowed to jump on a low level and I would love that for him since he loves that so much. We are just taking it slow in winter, so I hope to make him happy with that again this summer. The second horse who came here was Sisa. She is a almost 21-year-old mare. She is a fjord horse and 14.1 hands high. She got around 5 foals in her life when she was owned by Carmen, her grandfather, because she has a very good pedigree. He was a fjord horse breeder, and when he passed away, Carmen got Sisa. She did a lot of trail riding and Sisa was also very good at jumping. Carmen never rode any competitions or something, since that wasn't where her interest lay. What she did get from her grandfather in terms of interest was breeding. So she decided to breed her own foal, which was Ox. That would have been Sisa's last foal, getting older now. Sisa is on early retirement because of an injury from a tear in her meniscus. It can be operated, but the rehabilitation after the operation would be quite difficult, and because she is older and can live pain-free without being ridden, Carmen will probably leave it this way. Even uitrekken. Lekker. Ja, morning stretches voor het omaatje. The third horse who was coming to this place was Ox. She is turning 6 years old. Can you look a little bit more happy? Sweetie. She's turning 6 years old this year. She also is a crossbred. Well, her mother, of course, is Sisa. She's standing next to us. Her father is also a crossbred. He is part Arabic and part Trakehner. So she is a mix of a lot, but she is very lovely. She and her mother, Sisa, are the loveliest mares. They won't ever hurt anyone, and especially Sisa. Sisa is the sweetest horse that is alive. And she is 15.2 hands high. When she was only a few months old, she got a very bad colic attack and needed to go to the hospital. She was surviving, but after a while it happened again. Because her first experience with the horse box was going to the hospital for 2 weeks, they couldn't get her in with 5 people. Luckily she survived the night and never had a colic attack again. But from that day it was Carmen her goal to do a lot of groundwork with her and took lessons in trailer loading. Where normal people have riding lessons, she invested a lot in groundwork and that made them a great team. Ox can now load very easily on the horse box and knows it can also mean doing fun stuff, like going to the forest. Last year Carmen put Ox in training at someone who did natural horsemanship, and after only 2 months she got back already. Their first ride together at home was immediately going to the forest and many rides went by. For the future, Carmen would like to introduce some jumping to Ox, but she has no competition goals. Just enjoying her homebred little mare with a big attitude. For me, I love to teach Ox to also put a carriage, so we can drive in a pair with her and Marley. And last but definitely not least, this is Nacho, a 5-year-old gelding who's also a crossbred. His grandfather from mother's side is a well-known harness horse. He is called Mano. And his own father is McJonas, that is a Cremello stallion, and that one is a Czech warmlet. Nacho is quite big, he's 17 hands high, and he's, well, very tall, very long, but also pretty skinny. He did not have the best start in life, so we are treating him like he's 1 year younger, so we can give him all the time that he needs, and he does need it because not only physically but also mentally it sometimes takes a little longer with him. You're just a little puppy, right? Yeah, a little puppy with little puppy brain. Yeah, a little puppy brain. Yeah. I bought him from a female international show jumper who only had him in training for 2 months. She bought him unridden from his breeder and he was everything I searched for. He came perfect through the clinical and X-ray examination, and I stabled him at a friend of mine who is a male international show jumper who could train him a bit for me before he was coming home. At home everything was not finished to welcome a new horse, but I will come back to that in another video. After those 2 months we welcomed him home and started to become a team. This went downhill pretty fast, since he was getting stronger, more confident, and his old habits came back to the surface. I was always very open about this in my videos and people recognized him from his younger years. I found out he wasn't first ridden by this show jumper girl, but they already tried riding him at a riding school with children and he would bucked everyone off. His breeder didn't just sell him, but because he was dangerous and too sensible. Maybe if I would know this before buying him, I wouldn't continue to buy, or at least I could have taken it into account, because you have to treat him different because of his traumas at a young age. Since I was used to Marley, who was very brave and bomb-proof, it was a big task for me to ride Nacho. I had to learn it the hard way, and maybe it was a long way, because I had zero experience with horses like him. But I learned, took many lessons, had a lot of specialists looking at him, and figured out the best management for him. Last month we found out that at my place I couldn't give him what he needed. I thought about selling him, but wanted to try something else first. So I moved him to my jumping instructor, who is also an international show jumper. Now he stands in the stable at night and has a friend from his own age and height to play with, and now everything is going already a lot better. He is still quite sensible and jumpy, but we just have to ride through it and it will develop when he will get older and more confident by himself. My plans with him are, well, I hope to go cross country with him. He never looks at the jumps, but he is very spooky to the surrounding. So I hope that won't be a problem. And otherwise, we are also enjoying dressage, jumping and trio riding, of course. I think that was the most important part of getting to know the horses. Maybe I could tell you more about how we keep the horses at home, since it is not the traditional way, but I can talk about that for hours, so probably for the next video. To make the family complete, and since you will also see them on this channel, I will introduce you to our cats and chickens. We have two cats, named Woezel and Pip. They are named after a Dutch children's book series about two dogs who are friends. They got their names from the granddaughters of the previous owner of our house. The cats came with the house, because they were really bought as farm cats for the mice. They live outside, but still often come inside to sleep and keep us company. Pip is the calico cat and Woezel the orange and white one. They are both females, which is apparently special because usually if a cat has red fur, it would have been a male. They are not officially sisters, but they were born close together and are now around 7 years old. Pip is very present, brutal, but really my shadow. She was like that right from the start. Woezel, on the other hand, is extremely shy and did not show herself for the first 2 months after the transfer. One day, during the renovation, she somehow randomly found herself stuck in the ceiling of our living room. I pulled her out there and from then on things got a little better. 2 years later and she has improved tremendously. She always remains a bit more cautious, but where Pip really chose Sjoerd and me as her family, Woezel did that with my parents-in-law. They are not cat people at all, but she has still stolen their hearts. My mother-in-law is allergic, so Woezel still visits us a lot. Then there are the chickens. They deserve an introduction, but we always keep them outside during the day and sometimes one is killed by a bird of prey or another predator. The chickens really enjoy being able to walk all over the yard, and if that means they might not live as long as locked up, then so be it. We have 5 hens and they are all cochin chickens. We don't want chicks because of the cats, but we really enjoy their presence. They are such funny little animals, all with their own characters. They are called Red, Blue, Grietje, Tortellini, and Giertje. Don't ask me about their names. It are all very random and funny stories how they got their names. That were all the animals who lives here and belong with us or with the house. Since we live on the countryside, there are also a lot of other animals that we see all the time. Like squirrels, badgers, weasels, rabbits, martens, hedgehogs, owls, deer, and probably many more. Thank you for watching, and please let me know below in the comments about your animals and maybe which animal from us you like the most. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you next week. Bye bye! Nou, Pip, dat heb ik op camera staan. Dat was echt onnodig en gemeen, hè Poes? Wat deed ze nou bij jou? Wat deed ze nou bij je? Hè? Ja, Pip heeft een beetje enig kind syndroom. Kom.